What's up, guys? Devin and Josh here. We're coming at you again with podcast number 4.
Yeah,
The
dude.
RC podcast.
Yeah, dude, 4 episodes, man.
4. And we were saying, like, amongst ourselves, last week was especially fire, dude.
Yeah, listening over to the previous podcast, episode 3 has a different energy to it.
Yeah.
It's like I expressed with Devin beforehand, I felt like, if you guys are familiar with any video work that I do, I mostly specialize in like interviews and stuff like that. So I kind of like give off this interview vibe whenever the first 2 episodes,
Even without meaning to.
even without meaning to,
Yeah.
because I was talking to Aman about that. I was like, dude, I don't know, episodes 1 and 2, they feel like an interview. And I don't know, I'm trying to mix up the vibe on that one.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Basically,
Later, guys.
we got our synergy going.
yeah,
Yeah.
we got our synergy after episode 3, and it felt like back and forth, and we felt really great after that. you know?
Yeah.
Our
no kidding.
our repertoire was fucking awesome, man.
It was,
Yeah,
dude.
man.
It really was. I'd like to lay out like basically what we're going to be talking about today, because we're tackling some heavy topics today. So we're going to kind of go in this order, guys. We're going to talk about like our most recent week. Just kind of lay that out real quick. But we're going to talk about some heavy stuff, including, well, my take on the meaning of life, which I've been doing a lot of research lately, a lot of soul searching, especially in the last 2 years. And man, my story might interest you. And something we're both going to be talking about,
Oh yeah.
starting a workout routine.
Yeah, starting workout routines. Devin, he's been wanting to get back into physical activities again, and he wants to go into the gym, be a gym rat, and we're gonna go by beginner step by steps. What to do, what not to do, where you can start, resources that you can look up,
Yeah.
and all that good stuff.
Yeah, because I know a bit and everything. I've done sports in high school, but I feel like I'm gonna learn a lot from you, especially during that. So after talking about workout routines, starting one especially, we're gonna talk about the importance of rekindling friendships.
Yeah, definitely. That's a super important thing for the both of us. Definitely, you have that one friend or friends that you haven't talked to in a while. So we're gonna see what's the better approach to try to rekindle that friendship, or how to approach those kind of things, and how to maintain and keep that friendship flowing.
Exactly, because that's super important. But I'll talk more about
course,
that later.
of
We're gonna
course.
have a good back and forth on that, I know. And a big thing that I can talk about at length, not only from personal experience but from studying and learning, reading a book or two, is social anxiety and some good steps to overcome it. A lot of people get in their own head, especially in social situations.
As we all do.
Yeah, we all get in our own head about something, and there are things we can start working on, like everyone. And then we're gonna talk about our parents at the end, and
yeah, basically giving a little PSA. So stay tuned, and I'm pretty sure you guys will take a little chunk from that lesson and apply it to the next time you see your parents, because we feel like it's something really significant, really special. But anyways,
but we got that at the end.
yeah, we got that at the end, man.
Yeah. So tell me about your the most recent week for you, Josh, since the last podcast.
Yeah, so since the last podcast, basically it was an average work week, man. Average work week. The weekend was all right. I met up with the client once again from that photo shoot.
Nice.
I received my payment, my first photography payment. It felt really great. Like having all that work done, editing those photos, and getting a positive reaction through the client's photos. He loved them. And it felt heartwarming. It's like, damn, I made this for someone that asked for my services, and I'm getting paid for these services. It was a surreal moment. It was a surreal moment
because it's definitely about more than the money.
Yes,
it's significance of it.
But that was Saturday. Saw a Quiet Place. I definitely recommend. It's a great thriller. John Krasinski highlighted what a thriller should be. For me, I gave it a 9 out of 10. But that's a whole nother ball game.
Oh yeah, because you can go on about movies.
Yeah.
You know your stuff.
And then that was pretty much it. And on Sunday I got a haircut. I shaved, got a haircut. Usually my weekends are super jam packed with projects and other stuff.
Breweries
and breweries to go to. But it's just I kind of leave out personal grooming, getting a haircut, shaving and stuff like that. And I feel like you should try to make time for that. You gotta take care of your personal hygiene. You gotta look presentable sometimes.
Oh yeah. I mean, I got a haircut today actually. Yeah, literally today. So I mean, you don't have to tell me twice. Yes sir.
Yeah, I kind of felt and plus the beard was hella itchy. It's the longest that I had it, so I was I can't do it anymore. So I had to shave it off, cut my hair, and get a hard reset, man.
There you go, man. That is definitely a hard reset if I've ever seen one.
And then we're here. That's pretty much it. That's my week, man.
Oh, cool. And this is definitely always something to look forward to.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This dude I might even forget about it halfway through the week, but then when I remember, I'm oh heck yeah, I got that to look forward to.
Hell yeah, dude! Yeah. And what makes today even special? I was looking forward to it. At work, I was thinking, all right, so what are things that we can improve the quality of the podcast? Mm-hmm. I have my camera stuff, I have lights, and I have a tripod, and I'm you know what? Let's apply it to the podcast. So instead of using the jank ass lo-fi camera that we were using, which wasn't bad. Let's make it a little bit more easy on ourselves. Let's improve the quality and, have something presentable that you guys can listen to or can look at. As you can see, it looks like that we're having a video game podcast, but, we got to work with what we got,
Yeah, this is just, stuff we're really passionate about, stuff we enjoy, stuff we like, man. And Yoshi, dude, how can you not like Yoshi?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, how was your week, man?
So pretty bare bones. I'm not gonna go into it too much, but I'd say the highlight was running my first tournament at Coral Sword.
How was that like? Because Coral Sword is if I get it correctly, owned by a famous baseball player from San Francisco. I forget the team.
Originally.
What's his name? Hunter Pence.
Yeah.
Hunter Pence. Kind of funny best friend, man. I remember. And he and his wife opened up a esports cafe,
basically
/podcasting/ broadcasting center.
Yeah.
I was
BYOB coffee. They're looking to sell alcohol.
Really?
In 2 months' time. Yeah, they're just waiting on the whole.
The license.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, all that. But yeah, dude, Hunter Pence, man, he used to play for the Houston Astros.
Really?
And he currently plays for the New York Giants. Yeah.
I thought he was still with San Francisco.
Well, okay, I might have to double check, but last I heard, he's playing for the New York Giants currently.
Okay.
Yeah, last I heard. I could be wrong, but anyway, big baseball player. And yeah, it was him and his wife's passion project, and they do all kinds of things. They wanted to do video game tournaments from the get-go.
Yeah, because they're huge they're huge gamers.
Oh yeah,
they're huge gamers.
Yeah, board games. That's a huge thing for them. They sell board games as well as let people free play what they have. They have board games on deck, racks, and then you just, what do I feel like playing? Grab one, play with your friends.
It's fucking tight.
Yeah. So not only are you chilling, having coffee with some buddies, but playing board games. What more do you want?
Exactly.
That's big chilling.
Hell yeah, dude.
So basically, that was last Thursday night. I'm not doing one this Thursday night. I'm doing one next Thursday night.
Just a quick TDLR, how was the vibe like at Coral Sword hosting the event there?
Well, management and everyone, they were really happy to have us. They were especially happy to have us. We did like take up like their entire like usual back play area, but there are places in front, tables for people to play. But that's like where people free play Magic generally. So anyway, we got 6 setups going. 6 monitors, consoles, and 2 commentators, static commentators for the whole night. Vincent Qualia holding down the stream, super professional, doing all the transitions, everything needed, and me as the bracket master, directing people on where to go. So it was a really a really well-run ship.
It's nice,
basically.
It's nice that that we all Houston has an additional place that we can all come together as a community, play some fighting games or video games, or basically nerd out.
Literally.
Yeah,
literally. And that's kind of what Houston needed, a venue like that, a venue where we could nerd out. Exactly. And they're looking to deliver, and let's welcome them.
Hell yeah, man.
Let's give them a warm welcome for sure.
Definitely. I'll like when I have the chance, I'm gonna go check it out. I was looking at some screenshots online. Looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool place. So let's see. Because that pretty much summarizes my week, to be honest. Got a haircut, worked out for the first time in months today, but we can talk about that when we're talking about routines.
Right.
So something big I would like to talk about, because it has like helped shape what I do on a day-to-day basis in the last 2 years, is my take on the meaning of life.
Right.
So, okay. Basically, we're going to look at it through the lens / the frame of responsibility. All right? Because think about it. Sometimes people say, yeah, the meaning of life, like pursue happiness, become happy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my take on that is, I'm happy. What now? Like it's as an end goal, like in your life, that's not very, it's not something that, you see as an end goal, like, oh, when I'm 80 years old, I'll finally be happy. Nah, enjoy the road there, enjoy the road there, seek happiness the entire ride.
Mm-hmm.
So, responsibility, man. It hits home especially hard for me. So what I mean by responsibility is what gets you out of bed in the morning, like think about it. Work,
obviously for most people.
Yeah. A relationship, okay? Family, right? And responsibilities like, you're building your production company. That is a responsibility you have taken on, and you're responsible for its success.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, if that doesn't get you out of bed in the morning, man, I don't know. Like, yeah. So with me, 2 years ago, I was especially going through a rough patch. And, I mean, I didn't really have direction. I didn't feel like I was fit for the world, man. Like, I didn't want to do a 9-to-5. Didn't want to do that. Didn't want to go the route like that my parents suggested for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, well, what do I do?
As most parents suggest this, because usually, I think it stems like, sorry for taking over, but like, I don't know, it's a huge different like generation point of view. It's like, of course they know what's best for us, but what's best for what do you think is best for ourselves?
Yeah, more fulfilling.
Exactly.
Yeah, and more.
Like, is really a 9-to-5 gonna be like really like fulfilling? Is it really gonna like please? Like, is it really gonna make me happy? Essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's. I'm gonna talk about that a bit later, the whole 9-to-5 thing. But yeah, so it was like well, what do I do then? I didn't have direction. It was kind of like Pleasure Island, just Xbox Live, anime, low class, not fulfilling pleasure, because like that's the whole NEET thing, NEET, not educated, employed, or trained. That's used to describe like late teenagers / early 20 people that aren't working, or all those things.
Right.
Yeah, they don't have direction, they don't have motivation. So responsibility, man. About a year and a half ago, I found out, it wasn't exactly planned, I had a kid on the way. And I just knew my entire life, I knew I wasn't gonna slack off in that department. If it ever came down to that, I would step up. I would rise to the occasion, I always I wouldn't let myself, fail in parenting and taking care of a kid. I wouldn't be that kind of dad. I wouldn't. And so, well, just with that alone, man, I got the biggest responsibility in life there is, man. Having a kid, that is so huge. And so transforming that into how it can give life meaning, geez, man, I had to get out of bed. I didn't have a choice.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta provide, man.
Yeah, I had to. Yeah. Not only that, but I laid out a plan for how I was going to make moves, where I was going to go, how I was going to make money, everything, man. And here I am, a year and a half's time later, and, I still am working on stuff, of course, but I've accomplished my goal of providing, I've gotten there. And how? Through responsibility. That's what got me out of bed every day, dude. Every day. And a lot of people have existential crises, especially with, what have you in religions and stuff. But people will have existential crises and think nihilistically, like, oh, we're just a speck in the universe, like none of this really matters,
Very pessimistic thoughts.
And so if anyone comes up to me now and says what do you, what's the meaning of life, man? What's, why do you keep going? I point at my daughter and I say, why are we having this conversation? The answer is right in front of me. It's right here. There's nothing more to discuss.
Right.
This is it. This is it right here. I'm gonna get out of bed every day to make sure she's taken care of. I'm going to fight and be the dad that she can be happy to have. I'm going to help mold her into a great person that can help the world, help her family, community. It's once you have enough responsibility, it's I mean, it can even be as simple as say Friday you take on the responsibility of picking someone up from the airport. It'd be a jerk move to just kill yourself on Thursday. Why would you go and do that? You have a responsibility on Friday. So even a little perspective as simple as that, that keeps you going, and responsibility, man, it gives life meaning.
That's a different interpretation, that's a different take on life. You always hear the same old, and do whatever makes you happy, whatever is more fulfilling. But you never really think about your responsibilities, the different tasks that surround your life, different obligations, whether they can be serious for pleasure or anything like that. But we never take that in mind, and I think we take our activities for granted, and we don't really look what's inside. We're kind of selfish in a way.
Yeah,
kind of selfish. We think about, well, of course we should have time to think of ourselves, but we impact so many people's lives, and what about them? You know, that'd be kind of a jerk move to like, out yourself like that in an instant, and have people, instantly, grieve over you. Like, I mean, yeah, you think, you don't mean, in your mind you think, oh man, this person doesn't care about me, but your parents, your siblings, loved one, wife, girlfriend,
even just people that were your friends, if you happen to pass away, because whatever pain and suffering you're going through, everyone around you will feel it tenfold. Seriously. And it would be selfish to just ruin that. And I mean, I'm sure you can tell, Josh, responsibility, it's that important, huh?
It really is. Like, I guess my take on my point of view on your take of being in life, I guess my responsibilities, I guess right now is just, achieving, the goals and the dreams that I have and that I want to do, I get up to a boring job so I can have the income to buy things that I need for the production, okay, next paycheck I'm gonna go buy this new set of lights because I know I have a shoot coming up in like a week or so, or I'm gonna use this money to invest in more like in a stabilizer, stuff like that. And it's basically goals are also going factor with like motivation when it comes to your responsibility.
Because motivation can be fleeting, like there are some days, man, even today, even these days, where I'm not motivated at all. But you know what? Like, I just think to myself, I can't afford to be demotivated and to not do anything. I have to get up. I have to go do these things. And if that isn't meaningful, then geez, like, it's.
But yeah, like we just want people to take, don't take the things around you for granted, as we said in the prior podcast prior to this, priorities, responsibilities, it all meshes together.
It really does.
So take those in mind and and see what kind of responsibilities you have in life that are impactful or that gives X meaning to your life.
Exactly. And you can pick the damn thing. Like, you pick your responsibilities. No one else is. I mean, sure, parents, sure, but
yes, like, they're an influence, but in the end, it's what you want. What you want.
Yeah. You set your own life up to what you're responsible for. You line up what your priorities are, what you are, what you have to accomplish, what, to overuse the word, what you are responsible for. You line it all up, and you're the own architect of your own life. So build it to a way, build it in a way to where it's fulfilling. Where it's fulfilling, dude, because that's what it all comes down to, man. Because motivation comes and goes. Happiness, like, yeah, it's nice to have, but you can't see it as the end goal, because like you could be just happy playing Fortnite all the time.
Exactly, but reality is gonna hit you in the face, and you have to you basically have to find that rock that grounds you into life, and makes you open your eyes. It's like, oh fuck, dude, like, what the fuck should I be doing? You know, like I gotta get a job. All right, I gotta try my best to get the most high paying job that there is. So later I can gain that experience, and then so I can do other X thing. Stuff like that.
And do the things you're passionate about, because like that's what a lot of people end up doing. They work the jobs they have to do, and they work on their own passion projects on the side, or they raise their kids. That's like how we were talking about like Hispanic culture and abuelas. Their lives have so much meaning, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they are always thinking about los hijos.
Yeah, they put others before themselves, But yeah, essentially, be responsible in life.
Yeah.
Do your priorities. Make sure they're in order, and and value the things around you.
Exactly. Exactly. Do things in life that have value to them, like, because fundamentally, you get out of high school, you're useless. You're useless. What have you done? You've been taken care of your whole life. I was useless as an 18-year-old. What did I do? So you, like, for yourself, not even to brag about to others, but for yourself, line up things that you can do to where you can look back and say, yeah, well, as useless as a human being as I was, or how much of a doofus I was, at least I've done that. I've built this. I've, grown this thing. I've, started this brand, or, I bought this house. Something that you can feel inside that is meaningful, impactful.
That you can feel, that sense of accomplishment, that sense of pride, or, so you can be proud of what you've done,
Yeah, literally. Being proud, man. That's being proud of yourself.
Being proud of
truthfully,
yourself.
Being proud of yourself. That's one of the best feelings you can have.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna start introducing breaks. The setup that we have. We're trying to follow a more standardized and more organized outline of the thing. So when we come back, we will talk about
starting a workout routine.
Starting a workout routine.
You're gonna have to drop the knowledge on me there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, real talk.
Yeah. So I hope. I hope to give you the scrolls, man.
Yes, sir. Please do.
Yeah. But we'll be back.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for listening. Wanted to take a moment to remind you to like and subscribe. Just takes a moment. And yeah, we're talking about some heavy stuff here, so let's hop right back into it.
Hey guys, so we're back after that break. So let's dive deep into starting a workout routine.
Yeah.
So what are your goals? Personally.
Well, first off, I think it's pretty essential for all human beings to have a workout routine going. Like, if we're being honest with ourselves, like, these days people are sitting at office jobs not doing anything for like 8 hours straight, but sitting in a chair. I mean, sure, they're flexing their mind and doing things, but like humans, we used to hunt. We used to gather.
Yes, flexing your mind is good, but it's not. It's nothing compared to physical activity.
Yes.
Nothing compared to physical activity.
So translating that and how I truly believe all human beings should work out, fundamentally. My personal goals. I mean, I'm a small guy. I know that I'll be able to bulk up easily. I want to be able to do 5Ks again. Like, I could do one now. It's just I wouldn't be proud of the time.
Right.
Yeah. And so that's just kind of a me thing. I have friends I could run 5Ks with. So, just general bulking up a bit. Being able to run 5Ks, probably setting my own goals there, beating my last time, and little micro goals like that. And then beyond that, general health, man. General health.
Easy.
Yeah.
All right. So first of all, if you're wanting to bulk up, I suggest make sure how many calories you need to consume. There's a great app, I'm pretty sure most of y'all have heard, called MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal is an app where it tracks the amount of calories that you intake, the calories. I mean, it's a rough estimate. It's not the exact calories, but of foods that you eat throughout the day. 100 calories for a slice or two of bread, or 150 calories of Coke, stuff like that. It gives a bunch of rough estimates of calories, fats, carbs, and protein, and other vitamins and minerals that they have for your minor nutrients. But yeah, make sure try to figure out how many calories you need. When you start up the app, it's going to ask for your height and weight, and it's going to give you a rough estimate of how many calories that you need to consume. So
I know a general good rule of thumb is if someone weighs 150 pounds, they'll want a minimum of 1,500 calories to stay at their same weight.
Right.
So above that, to bulk up or gain weight, and below that, if your goal is losing weight.
Exactly. Yeah. So if losing weight, all right. So let's start off with gaining weight. So you want to so if for bulking up, you want to like have let's start off small. People have this dumb way of thinking. I'm just gonna eat a shit ton. I'm just gonna eat whatever's in front of me, and I'm just gonna fucking demolish everything. No, that's stupid. Don't do that. Eat smart. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you can eat a lot, right? Mm-hmm. But if most of your food source is like coming from junk food, Taco Bell, really like frozen food and whatnot. Yeah, that helps, but it's not. You're not going to get the same quality of nutrients or the same quality of muscle gained into your body. Mm-hmm. Like having lean fats, lean protein, good fats, lean protein. I'm sorry, and a well-balanced amount of carbohydrates, such as whole grains, oats, and oatmeal, and all that jazz, you're gonna see an improvement in your physical stature when it comes to building muscle. Mm-hmm. Because I've done dirty bulks before. It was all junk food, and I gained weight, but I gained more fat than weight. Mm-hmm. than muscle. And I slimmed down, and then right now I'm in this stage where I'm just chilling. I'm just maintaining
what you got.
Figure out your calories that you need, and start off small when it comes to bulking and eating more. I suggest maybe 200 calories extra throughout every day. Mm-hmm. Try that maybe like 2 to 3 weeks, and then once you see the improvements, or whenever you've plateaued on that diet, increase that a little bit more. Yeah, like 100 calories more. Mm-hmm. And then in terms of a workout routine, people also have this wacky mindset of I'm gonna go to the gym 5 days out of the week. I'm gonna be consistent. That's great. You're being consistent, but you're gonna burn yourself out. Yeah. Working out 5 days a week is so much stress that you're putting your body through. Yeah, it's great being consistent. Trying to establish a 5-day workout routine. But personally, I've done that, and I've had my plateaus where I'm like, dude, and demotivation where I'm like, I don't want to be in the gym. This is useless. Like, I'd rather be home playing video games or doing other things. But
especially going from not working out at all, like just straight into a 5-day routine. No, you're gonna burn yourself out, especially fast.
And then that's what a lot of people go through. Mm-hmm. They start off doing like 5-day routines, and then they stop going to the gym because, man, it's just too much, man. I'm getting tired.
Gotta ease into
it. And find whatever is optimal for your body. Maybe 5 days is good for your body. You don't feel the strain. Or maybe like working out like 3 days in a row is good. I find that optimal for me. 2 to 3 days in a row. Have a rest day in between. My body reacts well after that. It needs to rest, but each body's different.
Yeah, at least a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So work out with different days. Let's say if you want to plan out your week, I would suggest work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then have off Tuesday and Thursday. So you can have your one day can be chest triceps Monday.
Yeah,
as chest day is always Monday. And then Wednesday is back, and then Friday is legs, and then Saturday and Sunday you can work on whatever muscle group that you want to work on the most. Because when you want to develop muscle, and let's say a certain area of muscle or that you want to like increase, it's best to work that muscle twice in a week. Okay. So in those 2 Saturday and Sunday, let's say if you're more chest focused, all right. So do another chest this Saturday, but do different workouts. You know, you're doing, okay, let's say you're doing Monday, you're doing barbell and dumbbell bench press, right? So Saturday, dedicate doing a bunch of flies, push-ups, a bunch of plyometrics, plyometric, jumping around. Well, I guess push-ups.
Yeah.
And yeah, work out different regions of your chest and triceps and shoulders for those areas to grow. And yeah, that's pretty much it for a beginner routine that, you know, I recommend, that I try to recommend others that are getting into the world of fitness and becoming and having the gym as a habit.
Yeah.
And you know, if you're stuck on, you know, or if the weights intimidate you, because I've been through that, you know, free weights you can intimidate someone that is you know, starting off in the gym. You know, you'd say, you know, man, I see all these people pushing 70 pounds, 80 pounds, and me with my dinky 20. Well, that's fine, man.
Gotta start somewhere.
You gotta start somewhere. But, you know, don't be afraid of the the dumbbells. You can also incorporate machines. They're great too, but it's not good. But it's not going to be the same as, you know, working out with dumbbells, because with dumbbells, the weight is distributed differently rather than a fixed position on the machine.
Okay.
A fixed position is nice, but it has all that, like, you rely so much on the machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then with dumbbells or with barbells or free weights, essentially, all the push pull movements, that's all on you.
Yeah.
It's all on you.
Well, you do have to focus on form, though.
No,
you have to be extra careful.
Exactly. That's what I was going to get to after that. You know, when doing barbell and dumbbell exercises, form is essential, because that's basically the difference. All right. So what I find, you know, working out so interesting, you know, with one small change of a grip or one minor, you know, movement, adjustment, you're working out a different part of your body.
Yeah.
And that's fucking crazy.
It is.
It's fucking crazy. And also, that mind muscle mentality, I forget what it's called, but there's something where, you know, if you think about, like, let's say if you're working out your back, right, you're doing upright.
What's a row?
Yeah, upright rows. Upright rows. And you're focusing on the muscle that's being flexed, that's being worked on right now. You're gonna feel like that muscle, like you're actually gonna feel that muscle, like, you know, doing the work.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's hard to explain, but
you're gonna want to target it. Basically,
exactly.
Target it.
Yeah, basically focus on it so you can, you know, so you can activate it. Like, it's weird. It's so strange. But yeah, resources that you guys can find is YouTube. YouTube is a perfect place to find a bunch of beginner workouts. You know, a few YouTube channels or fitness YouTubers that come to mind that helped me throughout my fitness journey is Omar Yusuf. He does a bunch of his motto's athletic aesthetic. You know, he wants to be he maintains functional strength while at the same time building aesthetics.
Yes.
You know, the six pack, the huge delts, the biceps, the chest, and stuff like that. But also, you know, implementing, you know, and no, stressing how much squats are essential to working out, deadlifts, standing, upright. Shoulder press. Yes, no, standing shoulder press, whatever. And then Elliot Hulse is another guy that helped me out throughout my fitness journey. He's more of a strongman, kind of a strength oriented YouTuber. You know, he's more dependent on, you know, deadlifts, strongman workout exercises like yokes. So yoke training, lifting up stones, if that's what you're into.
Oh yeah.
But, you know, if it's whatever you're into, and yeah, YouTube's a great source for that. Or you can always go to bodybuilding.com. That's one of the places that I went when I started my whole fitness journey. You know, I got a basic beginner routine, and then I evolved from there.
Dude, that's exactly how I started too. It was back in high school, and I did some sports in middle school, cross country. But in high school, at the end of sophomore year, I started P90X. That laid out a really good foundation and schedule because it's like, for example, like that's the first time I learned the importance of having a basically push day: chest, shoulders, triceps, push day. All right. Then back and biceps, a pull day. You're working out a different muscle, you know, and doing those on different days, you're targeting them more heavily. And I learned the importance of resting those muscles in between, because that's where like the actual growth happens, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And so I'm really glad that I have that, because even just going back into working out for the first time in a long time, I have a good like, you know, idea of what I'll want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like which days I'll want to do what, when I should rest, you know, because that's important. And a lot of people like won't really know that right off the bat. So the YouTube sources you were recommending, I'm sure they hash out things like that.
Yeah, definitely. Like they really do stress, you know, rest up. Rest is important when it comes to building muscle. Rest is important when it comes to basically anything. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically, you know, some you know, small recommendations, you know, if you want to start off going to the gym or being more active, you know. Oh, and I guess for your 5K thing, you know,
yeah.
What you can do on the weekends, you could do a bunch of plyometrics, you know, a bunch of jumps, jumping exercise, box jumps,
biking, building that endurance.
Yeah, different endurance based activities, so you can increase your stamina. Once that 5K, that day of the 5K, you won't be as winded, and you know, you'll have much more energy and more stamina. And your body can withstand different level of stresses, because if you let's say keep on running, you know, outside your neighborhood, you know, that helps. But what if the 5K terrain is, you know, uphill?
Oh yeah,
you know, you're not going to be ready for that. So implementing different endurance training exercises and cardio based movements are going to be essential and more optimal to your body, and you're going to have that advantage when it comes to that 5K.
Because for sure, even when you have a really solid workout routine going, the name of the game is getting out of your comfort zone. Like getting out of your comfort zone and doing something new, doing something challenging. I mean, that's even what bodybuilders do. They're constantly challenging themselves.
Yeah. So some bodybuilders, you know, they stop doing bodybuilding, and you know, the whole hypertrophy movements, you know, the 4 sets, 12 reps, they move on to strength training, deadlifts, you know, doing your 5x5s, 3x3s, and your 1 rep max strength training. And if you want to learn more about that, you know, look up a bunch of strength training people on YouTube. You know, Matt Ogus comes to mind. Again, Elliot Holtz, he does that. But yeah,
it's important, man. Like, I mean, of course, getting out of your comfort zone in general, challenging yourself via working out, like that's how you improve. That's how you get stronger.
It really does. It really does. Become the strongest version of yourself.
Yes. Let's go.
But yeah, moving on to the next topic is basically rekindling friendships. So to start this topic off, I have this bad habit, man. I'm guilty of doing this, but I have this bad habit of recycling friends, or not recycling, cycling friends. You know.
Oh, okay.
Like, let's say, you know, I'm really cool with this one friend, with this friend, and I spend all this time with this friend, and you kind of neglect, you know, other groups of friends.
Yeah.
And you know, it could, you know, that neglect, you know, can last for years, you know, and you know, rekindling friendships is, you know, is important into in your life. It's the people that you're going to depend on, you know.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's just
For me, I see it having extra meaning because those are people that by that point have seen you in different phases of your life. They've seen, like, they know you, man. They know you, I mean, in certain ways better than you know yourself, maybe. Like,
mhm.
I caught up with an old friend and I was like, damn, I really said some of those things when I was younger. I was a jerk. I used to be a jerk, dude. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, sometimes, of course, but yeah, a lot of the time too, with certain old friends, um, like you just hit them up, catch up, and it'll be like no time has passed at all. You'll have that rapport
Yeah,
instantly.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what if you have a falling out with that friend, and
Mm.
you want to rekindle that friendship? So, what do you think are different ways that we can rekindle or reestablish that I don't want to say broken friendship, but
Mm.
fix that friendship back up?
Well, without like naming specific names, I did have a really bad falling out with a friend. Uh, let's say around when I was 20 years old, right? Someone that I knew since fifth grade. So someone I knew for 10 years and had a really bad falling out. Didn't talk to them for a few years, man. Like, and well, a huge thing is that you as a person need to, um, I guess, like you need to have genuine forgiveness is a thing because nobody's freaking perfect. Nobody, man. And like every human being three-dimensional, I'm sure will like, well, what happened in our specific case was we caught up and we both agreed like, hey man, we were in a different place at that time. We both made our mistakes, and I'm just glad that we're talking again. That's literally how it went down, man.
Mhm.
And we are friends to this day. Like I could invite him over right now. Like he's a cool guy. So yeah.
Yeah, it's good that you go head on and
Hmm.
face that elephant in the room. It's like, hey
Yeah.
man, we've had different problems. We've had our issues, but let's look past that and get back to what we used to be.
Yeah.
That old homie vibe.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's really important to rekindle like old friendships
Mhm.
because you never know. Well, not, you never know. It's just for me personally. It's that sense of peace. Like I'm back with my people.
Yeah.
Like I'm good. I'm good with this person. Like yeah, I can't please anyone. Like
Mhm.
you can't please everyone, but you can damn well try. And
Yeah.
no, no, it's just I feel like when you try to reach out and you rekindle that friendship, I feel like the other person's like, damn, this guy's making an effort to like hit me back up. It's pretty badass.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to other things to do other things with this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Or this or whatever. But yeah, I feel like it's super important.
It is, man, because, well, a big thing is to keep in mind, don't worry about time that passes by because everyone has their own lives going on.
Yeah, dude, we're
Everybody,
super
yeah,
busy. As
yeah,
humans, we're super busy,
and that's
and
fine.
mhm.
That's fine. So, like, I've been hanging out every so often, say every few weeks, with my friends that I ate lunch with every day in high school.
Mm,
Like, dude, this was like the squad, you
the
know?
squad,
Yeah, like the
yeah.
people I played on Xbox Live with, like Modern Warfare 2, like, damn, man, talking about memories. And I'll kick back with a couple brews and chill with these guys every so often.
That's dope.
Like, we'll talk to each other, make time. And there's so much value in that. Just looking at someone and being like, I've known you since you were 13. Like,
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I kind of went through that this past weekend. Like every Sunday, me and my friends get together and we play this board game called Munchkin.
Okay.
And I decided to hit up my old friend Charlie that I've known since elementary school, and I haven't seen him since New Year's this year,
Okay.
and it's been a couple months. And I'm like, hey man, if you're not busy, come through. I would love to see you. And he's like, yeah, come. And he came, and it was so nice seeing him. You know,
Yeah.
It's like, man, when I saw him, I was like, fuck, dude, like all these memories like came through my head, and it was nice. You know, we talked for a bit. We established our friendship after a couple months of not seeing each other. He understands that I'm busy. I understand that he's busy. You know, being a dad and stuff like that with another kid on the way.
He's a dad. Oh,
yeah, he's a dad. He's a dad. And you know, it's basically like you said. It's like if we were just hanging out the other day, same old thing.
Oh yeah. You know, especially, I mean, so many people are like that. You would be surprised. Like, to sit down with someone for the first time in months, like no time passed by at all. Like y'all just have that like connection.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
it's super surprising. But yeah, so reach out to your old friends, and you never know. They'll probably be very important to you in the near future or something like that.
Yeah, because I mean, it's kind of hard to think like this distant into the future, but just imagine yourself 30s, late 30s, early 40s even, kicking back with the same friends you've known since you were 13, 10. Like, dude, there is so much value in that.
Yeah, dude, there's something beautiful in that.
There really is. Like, people that have seen you in different phases of your life, people that, I don't know, like saw me go through like the emo hair phase or something, you know?
We all have those phases.
Hey, man, we had our phases back in high school. Yes, sir.
I'm guilty of that too. Well, yeah. Basically, yeah. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be talking about...
Well, I'll be starting us off with social anxiety and my kind of ways that I've dealt with it and my like answers for it. And then we are going to talk about, you know, something important with parents at the end.
So stay tuned. We'll be back. Hey guys, so thank you for still staying tuned to the podcast. I really appreciate that you got to this point. It shows that you guys care. You guys are engaged to our conversation and to what we're saying and the topics that we're talking about. So yeah, once again, thank you guys, and let's get back into it.
What up, guys? We back in here. We in the mix. Yes, sir. Josh and Devin.
God damn it.
What? What?
We're back. Josh and Devin. Oh man.
What? Like getting used to my name? Or
yeah.
Oh, you were like Krebs or what?
Yeah. No, it was like Josh and Devin. Josh and Devin and Josh.
Like, oh yeah, that's my name.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry.
All right. So I'm gonna talk about something pretty important to me. Something that, you know, I'm pretty damn proud of myself for overcoming.
As you should.
Social anxiety. So, a lot of people will like tense up, get in their own head in social situations, or say working in a restaurant.
Is that how you feel whenever you go through anxiety?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. For me, it's hard to gauge like things like anxiety and like depression and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're talking about anxiety, but you know, for me, it's hard to gauge what I'm feeling, because like, you know, like when someone says, man, all this anxiety is kicking in, or I'm having an anxiety attack, I really don't know what they're talking about. It's like, okay, maybe I've been through it. I really don't understand this.
So basically, and this is because I've been doing a lot of research into psychology and how humans fundamentally work. Anxiety is when, well, social anxiety as a prime example, you're in a normal situation. Things are actually calm. If you look at it objectively, things are calm. You're with friends, or you're in a social environment, sure, but it's just people. But in your head, you're in fight or flight mode, and your heart's racing, and you're getting in your own head, and you're stressing over it, and you literally cannot maintain that. Humans being in that like ready to go mode, you'd have to eat a lot more for one, Two, like that's a lot of stress that you're putting on yourself. And I guess three, like that's something that you can remedy with time. So I'm basically going to go through a couple steps that have helped me, because I was a huge introvert growing up, and I'm sure like by listening to this podcast or you talking to me, you're like, oh, I think he has both traits, or like Devin, he's pretty extroverted, because I can carry myself well in social situations now. So here's how I've tackled it. All right, especially when I worked as a waiter, right? Normally, you're in your own head. You're thinking, like, what are these people thinking about me? They're probably judging me. So you can't tell yourself to stop thinking about yourself, because what are you doing when you do that? You're thinking about yourself. So push your attention outwardly. Pay attention to others. Look at someone else. And, well, I mean, like, generally in social situations, you're interacting with someone. So pay attention more to them than yourself. And, think about their eye movements, their body language. I mean, just everything like that. And I guess step two, genuinely listen to them. Which could be hard, because I know a majority of people like to plan out what they're going to say next. That's like what people generally do. But you basically got to have that faith in yourself, trust your motor skills, and genuinely listen to them, and then take your time and respond after. So, with those two first things, the more attention you pay to them, the less you're paying to yourself. And people appreciate that, man. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just from my experience, but I think people don't listen that much, Like, people don't genuinely listen and, like, hear someone out. And I think people are asleep on listening.
That's true, man.
Yeah.
That's true. Like, when you're trying to, like, talk about, like, something, and, like, let's say you're basically spilling your guts out to someone, and, like, listening is the most important thing as someone that, is when someone is finding, like, let's say, comfort, or they want to, what's the word? I can only think of it in Spanish. Desahogar.
I don't know that word in Spanish.
Yeah, dude. I hate when that happens, Like, as like a bilingual, like, Hispanic, it's just like you think of one word, like you only know that word in Spanish or in the other language, and like you don't know how to say it in English, so it's like you only know it by that word. So
hey, your Spanish is better than mine, man. So already
to let out this feelings.
I don't know, not necessarily express yourself, but to, like, unburden, or to not confess necessarily, but I kind of get what you're saying.
Yeah. Whenever they're doing that, they're talking to you about something that genuinely bothers them, and I think it's important that you should really listen, and because paying that extra attention to them and giving them that attention and that time, it's endearing, it's helpful. It's pretty important when it's one of the most important things that you can give someone.
Like, full on attention, man. And so a lot of the time, people with social anxiety are worried about what others think about them. If you're paying attention to someone, listening to them, then how could they not like you? Like, honestly, like, sure, some social interactions will go sour. It just happens, not everyone can get along. Fine.
Of course.
It's part of life. Yeah. But I mean, it's way better than being in a corner and just getting in your own head about it. Like, communicating with someone, building that rapport, building that relationship, you can be more comfortable in the long run, So That's how I really like to see it. Especially when I worked as a waiter, I would stress about it, you know. But then I get that rapport going with my coworkers, and it's like, all right, we're all in this together, you know. Like we got that going, and then I talk to my coworkers, and it's like, what do you have going on? Or oh yeah, like I have a kid, or yeah, I'm studying this right now in school, and then just talking to them, and you become more comfortable in your environments. Yeah. So that's like some big ways I've tackled it, and like a majority of the time, it's inevitable that people will like you. Like just by listening to them, by genuinely listening to them, like how could you not like someone that is that genuine? You know? That's big. So
I'm still trying to wrap my head around, like the whole anxiety.
yeah.
Like it just doesn't go away. Like is it that feeling that feeling whenever like you see someone like at Walmart or like at a random store and you try to avoid them? Is it that feeling where you're like or someone, let's say you see your ex, right?
Okay.
At Walmart or whatever, and you're like, and like you kind of like you have that you freeze up and your heart's racing. Is that anxiety?
Yeah, that can be. And a good answer for that, it's like a muscle you can flex, approaching people. Or not even so much approaching people, but you know what I do now? I nod. If I see someone, I'm just like, if I make eye contact with a random person, I just nod.
Because that makes things much more smoother.
Yeah, it's like, all right, we happen to make eye contact. Well, let's move on. Like,
yeah. Like I try to do that too. Whenever like I'm walking down the store and I'm looking at a direction at somebody and we make eye contact. It's kind of awkward. Whenever you just like, oh fuck, you just like move away.
Yeah.
So like what I do most of the time is like, hey, how you doing? And that's it.
Yeah. What's up? Or oh, don't mind me. Like walk past them or
something.
Yeah, just in general,
you gotta like take charge of that moment too.
You gotta take charge, and in hand with taking charge, carry yourself in a very positive manner. If you carry yourself in a positive manner, you're thinking positively. You're just that's another human being you happen to make eye contact with, instead of thinking like, they probably think I'm ugly, or they probably see me as like some skinny or some fat dude.
And it goes back to the fact where you're saying we're always in our heads.
Yeah,
we're always in our heads.
We can't and like I said from the get-go, you can't just tell yourself to not think about yourself. So pay attention outwardly, pay attention to your surroundings. Oh no.
Fuck.
Pay attention to your surroundings, and then listen to people, nod, and it's like a muscle you can flex. Like, just work on your social game, like literally how well you can approach people.
Yeah, put yourself out there.
Yeah.
But
well, humans were social creatures. That's how I see it.
Yeah, like it's good to like to socialize with like different people, so you can have like a good like idea of how so you can get a good gauge of like different personalities and how to deal with them and whatnot, and how to communicate with them. It's like you can get easygoing people like you and I.
Yeah.
But you also can run into stern people, reserved people
with a stick up their ass.
Yeah. It's like, okay,
it's like
I gotta play it this way and stuff like that. So it's a good gauge to like how to read people and how to be around them. But yeah. So moving on. Basically, our last point of advice for this interview. Like I recently gone through it, and like I felt like such a relief, and I had no worries or anything like that. Basically, try to hug your parents more often.
Yeah,
like that goes a long way.
It does.
It goes a long way. Like it it's different. It's a different feeling whenever like let's say like you live alone, right? You go visit them, saying hi, you hug them. It's different than when you go up to them randomly and say, "Hey, mom, love you."
Yeah.
And it's a really nice feeling.
It's heavy, dude. It's heavy.
Because they parents appreciate that shit. Like it's all they ever want.
Yeah, I mean in life, like that's a huge thing, your relationship with your parents. And of course, like there might be people listening, their relationship with their parents isn't the best, or bad things happen, or people, I don't know, betray each other, or parents disapprove of like the child's direction. But at the end of the day, like you're tied by blood. Your parents, like one of their biggest responsibilities, like, so damn near no matter what, they'll appreciate and love a hug from you.
Exactly. So like I said, it goes a long way, because like you feel good, they feel good, and you're just strengthening that bond that you have between them.
Yeah.
Even though you guys have differences, like if you don't have a good relationship, it's say hey, start with a hug.
Yep.
Start with a hug.
Simple.
Yeah. It's the easiest thing you can do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this episode, man.
Yeah. I really like not only the topics we tackled on, but we got into the depth, the meat of things. Yeah. That's what this podcast is all about, right?
Sure. But yeah, hope you guys learn something from this episode, and you apply it in your daily lives. Workout routines, hugging your parents, how to overcome social anxiety,
your responsibilities,
and basically rekindling friendships. But yeah, on that note, we're gonna sign off. Next week we probably might have a guest come on. Yeah, finally. And yeah, so hopefully you guys will catch that news in the near future. But on that note, catch you guys later.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Peace.